Hi, and welcome to the ONF Spotlight on 5G. I'm Timon Sloane with the ONF, and today it's my pleasure to welcome Ben Lin from Sercomm to discuss Sercomm's activities in 5G and Open RAN. Ben is CTO, Executive Vice President, and the co-founder of Sercomm, and I'm very pleased to have Ben with us today, as Sercomm has been working with ONF actively on the Ether project, and then very recently Sercomm joined the ONF's SD-RAN project as a founding member. Ben, thanks for being here, and please take it away.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Ben Lin. I'm the CTO and the Executive Vice President of Ceracom. It's my pleasure to be here to introduce how Ceracom be involved in the ONF Ether and the SD-RAN project. So actually, Ceracom was got involved in the ONF activity since the January of last year at the CES event. I and Timon met together and have some brief discussion about who Ceracom is and also to get introduced for the ONF. And after that, we provide the Ceracom's CBRS test kit to Ether. And since the later part of January, and it is a great experience that without any very much support in the Ether, already bring the Ceracom CBRS devices working successfully in February, just within less than 1 month. And because of the pandemic, we cannot fly to the US, and just with the very minor remote support, we are able to get the CBRS working under Ether project. It's a very great experience. And since then, we signed the continuous certification program in April for Ether and CBRS project. And finally, we are also joining the SD-RAN as the founding member last month. So we are very aggressively involved in the ONF project, and we hope we can bring the industry the 5G transformation experience, especially onto the enterprise. So I would like to spend a few minutes to introduce the Ether. Actually, Ether is the ONF project. It brings the mobile connectivity as well as edge cloud services to the for the distributed enterprise network. It is the enterprise 5G LTE edge cloud as a service, and although it is the for the mobile edge connectivity in the enterprise, it also can be provisioned and managed from a centralized cloud. So, and it is an all-RAN architecture consistent and designed for easy to deploy, highly scalable, and rapid new service onboarding. So this is the a few introduction of the Ether, and Ceracom is very specialized in the CBRS device development. CBRS stands for Citizen Broadband Radio Service. It was approved and started the initial commercialization deployment since the 2019, last year. And it is actually operating at the 3.5 gigahertz with the 150 megahertz bandwidth. It also accepted by the 3GPP and got the number band 48 for the 4G and the N48 for the 5G. So CBRS has the some characteristics, like it is CBRS is shared. It got the 3 layers: IncuBand, priority access, and general authorization access. So IncuBand is for the government and Navy. They are using the this 3.5 gigahertz for the radar service. it is still being protected in this CBRS scheme and got the highest priority. And then the second layer is the so-called priority access. It got the 70 megahertz within that range. The priority access needs to be granted with the competitive billing. And the lowest level is the so-called general authorization access, and it got the 80 megahertz. Within that region, if there's no incumbent or the priority access users, actually the users can use these 80 megahertz of the spectrum freely, just like Wi-Fi. So because of the, it is shared and it needs to be managed and controlled. So there's the so-called spectrum assignment system, which is used to assign the frequency to you. So with this scheme, actually, it can minimize the interference. For example, if there are two small cells close to each other, and that may cause the interference, the SAS will assign different frequencies to each small cell, so to avoid the interference. And it also, the spectrum can also be reused. For example, if these two small cells are far away, that are not likely to create interference, the SAS can assign the same frequency to these two small cells. So these two small cells can use the same frequency. And well, with that, so it can be utilized very effectively. And this spectrum is already available, as I explained. It is already been in the initial commercialized deployment since the last year. And just the last month in August, the priority access has completed the auctions. And interestingly, this auction is a very unique auction. It divides the US into 22,000 of the biddings with the county size. So actually, because of it is the bidding with the county size, actually it is a perfect for the enterprise for the school campus or for the factory campus. For those enterprise and school that are perfectly to use this CBRS band. So I believe there are many like system integrators or even the enterprise that are joining this bidding. So total bidding price is close to 4.6 billion US dollar. So and has been completed. So I anticipate that CBRS will going to fly probably from next year. And because the CBRS is the actually is the LTE or the 3GPP defined specification, it got some benefit. Actually, it is the serial grade security and quality of services. Because it is for the general authorized access, it is almost free, it's like Wi-Fi. So you also got the Wi-Fi level of economy scale. So with that, some enterprise that want to have the this mission critical application may want to use the CBRS band instead of Wi-Fi to provide more security as well as more real-time services. So this is the characteristics of CBRS. And as CBRS is also perfect for the enterprise, and Ether is designed to provide the enterprise the mobile edge services. So these two actually manage pretty well. And so that is the reason why Ceracom is joined the Ether aggressively and provide the devices for the trial in the Aether project. So this is the architecture of the Aether. It includes the mobile edge on premises within the enterprise. And it is also controlled by a central cloud. And so if the enterprise has many branches across the nation, actually it can be, it is very scalable by provision and manage under the central cloud. And as I mentioned that some enterprise prefer to have the 3GPP levels of the security and QoS instead of Wi-Fi. So, and also they want to have the some confidential information to be within the enterprise, but not shared to the cloud. So the mobile edge server is very critical for this enterprise or the factory applications. And they prefer the CBRS instead of Wi-Fi. So Cercom provides some CBRS small cell in some devices to allow those devices to have the CBRS connectivity. Like enterprise, you need to have the surveillance security. So you need to have a many camera to be installed within the enterprise, and the camera can be connected to the CBRS video bridge to enable the CBRS connectivity. And for the laptop or the notebook PC, Cercom also has the CBRS dongles that all of the laptop and the notebook PC can connect to the CBRS network with this USB dongle. And CBRS smartphone is also getting popular. There are many CBRS, many smartphones support the CBRS band. So with that, the enterprise can connect their smartphone, their devices, their camera into the CBRS network. For the factory automation or smart building, for example, you need to control the temperature with the thermostat. This kind of application needs a lot of wireless sensors, like Zigbee sensors or Z-Wave sensors. Cercom also has the IoT gateway to convert those Zigbee or Z-Wave sensor through the CBRS and then connect to the CBRS network as well. So this is what Cercom has been provided to Aether, a CBRS small cell, a CBRS video bridge that got the PoE capability to connect to any kinds of PoE camera, also the USB dongle. So with these devices, the Aether project has been able to use these devices for the CBRS network. And as I said, the Aether project team has been installed these devices to work under the Aether mobile edge cloud less than 1 month, and it's already start working. And I also mentioned briefly about the IoT gateway. This is allow the all kinds of wireless sensors like a thermostat, a temperature sensor, humidity sensor, and the proximity sensor, all kinds of sensor. Because the sensor normally is using the Zigbee or Z-Wave, this kind of sensors is not the CBRS technology. So Cercom provides the IoT gateway to convert those wireless sensors to connect to the CBRS network, so that the all of the like temperature control application or humidity control application that can be enabled with this IoT gateway. The Ether is operational, and the Cercomm's devices, small cells, and all kinds of devices are in place in many of the Ether operating regions, and even those devices and CBRS small cell has been installed within the homes of many of the Edge project members, since they are working from home, so they are enjoy those CBRS network and the CBRS connectivity under the Ether mobile edge cloud. So with the Ether mobile edge cloud and Cercomm's small cell and the video bridge, USB dongle, and the IoT gateway, the system integrator can easily put them together and to have the turnkey solution for private and the neutral host market segment. So we hope that the system integrator can be aggressively participating the edge and to the Ether and to create the market to serve these smart building, smart school campus, and smart factory, this kind of market segment. This is a brief introduction of the CBRS small cell. It got the 36 dBm and support the carrier aggregation. Can have the 128 users. And it is already got the FCC and the CBRS on-go certification, so it's ready to work. This is the CBRS the dongle. It got the CBRS band and also the with the USB port, and also got the Wi-Fi. So actually, you don't need to have the USB drivers within your laptop PC, but you can just use the Wi-Fi to connect to this USB dongle, and with the CBRS bridge capability, you've got the CBRS connectivity for your notebook, PC, and or your laptop device. Video bridge. This is allow you to connect your the camera to have the CBRS connectivity. This video bridge got the supported PSE. So for any PoE IP camera or any PoE devices, you don't need to have the additional power source. Just connect the Ethernet cable to this the CBRS devices. You will get the power as well as the CBRS connectivity all within the Ethernet cable. This is our future small cell, 5G, support the 5G CBRS or N48. It will be available in the February of the next year for the engineering sample. For the demo, and the engineering sample will be available June next year. So it is using Intel Silicon, supports N77, 78, and N48. So this will provide the CBRS community 5G N48 bands. So with that, Ceracom will keep working with Ether project to provide the all the CBRS devices, and we'll also continue the so-called continuous certification program in case we got the new firmware release that will go through the this CCP program anytime. As I said, Ceracom joined the SD project since August, so we will also open our E2 interface on the small cell to work with the SD-RAN project. And Ceracom will also migrate some of our near real-time functions from the small cell into this X apps on the rig. So this is the little bit brief introduction of Sercomm. Sercomm is headquartered in Taipei, Taiwan, and we got more than 10 years of experience in the small cell domain. So our small cell actually has been deployed globally. In the US, we support Sprint. In Japan, we support Rakuten. In China, we support the China Mobile. We also have the small cell deployed in Taiwan, India, and Europe. This is the one of the example that we ship our small cell to Rakuten. As you may already know, that Rakuten is the first network operators completely virtualized, so including the RAN network. Cercom provides the this so-called DU to work with the OTO Star virtualized CU to Rakuten. This has been deployed in Rakuten with the option 2 interface and since April of this year. And we're also working aggressively with Rakuten to enable the 5G DU as well. With that, that concludes my introduction. And let me get back to Timon.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. That was terrific. I really appreciate you coming and spending the time and sharing some more details on what's going on with Sercomm. You mentioned Rakuten. I think there's a lot of interest in Rakuten. It's one of the first open RAN deployments, and Sercomm has been involved. You mentioned the small cell. Can you say a little bit more about exactly what role you're playing with Rakuten and what, I mean, I think what's unique about Rakuten is they're mixing and matching multiple vendors. So maybe you could say something about what vendors you're interoperating with, whatever you can disclose.
So for the Rakuten case, we developed the small cell hardware, which have the layer 2 of the or the MAC layer of the software onto this the hardware, and through the predefined API, we talk to OTO Star, a virtualized CU, which is the upper layer part of the small cell. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. And did you provide layer 1 then as well, or were you working with somebody else?
Yeah, actually layer 1 and layer 2 is all within the hardware, and the layer 3 and above has been virtualized and is installed in the server within the central office.
Good, thank you. So how did you find the process of working with other vendors on, kind of multi-vendor interoperability? That often brings unique challenges and opportunities as well. Curious if you could share a little bit.
Yeah, so although the mobile network operator is like the ORAN idea, so that they can select the vendors freely without limit to the 800 Gorilla Giant, but it is still in early stage. So mm-hmm. the putting those vendors together and make it to work is still a very difficult stage, to be frank. So take the Rakuten case as an example. Rakuten has the probably several hundred engineers working to put those vendors' product together. And although it is all ORAN compliance in architecture, the interface is still not well defined. So we still need to work with the API or the interface changes from time to time during the project development. And it is still not easy. We anticipate that there's kind of an ORAN plug fest to ease this kind of integration process. before that, the network operator need to have a very strong system integration capability to make the system to work. So since the especially because the Rakuten launched the service in April, so almost from January to April, the CTO of the Rakuten and the CTO of the OTO Star and me almost have the a daily meeting around 6 p.m. To discuss the project status to avoid the finger pointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's interesting, and I guess we've seen that in other open source projects. That's part of it, is a community coming together to collaborate, and opening up those lines of communication are really an important part of helping it be successful. So that's great, and congratulations. I think you guys have all done made some remarkable progress, and everybody's been really curious and excited to see Rakuten's progress.
Yeah.
So curious, you're talking about CBRS, but you talked about CBRS in the context of the US quite a lot, but there's a lot of unlicensed or lightly licensed spectrum becoming available elsewhere in other geographies as well. I'm wondering, I mean, maybe your focus is particularly US centric, but what do you, in Germany and elsewhere, what are Cercomm plans?
Yeah, our product, although it is designed for CBRS band and band 48, but actually band 48 cover part of the band 42 and part of the band 43. So actually during the design phase, we intentionally cover the band 42, band 43, and the band 48. So the product that I introduced not just can be used in the CBRS band in the US, can also be in the European community that needs to have a band 42 and the band 43.
Yeah, okay, terrific, great. And then you shared, I think, both with Rakuten that you were doing a split option 2, and then your future small cell, I think, a split option 2 as well. What are your plans and thinkings about sort of the more, the complete, or the kind of the final end vision that ORAN has for that RU-DU CU split, and it has a 7.2 split and a 2 split. Where is Cercomm going to play in that RU-DU CU mix?
So for the indoor, we still think the option 2 is the best approach. But for the outdoor case, I think we will also have the option 7.2 working together with the DU, and then DU through the virtual CU with the option 2. So we will have the 2 approach. One is for the indoor, we still with the option 2, and putting the DU and RU together in one hardware. The other one is for the outdoor that will manage to support the option 7.2 and a separate DU to work with this RU.
Okay, very good. Well, Ben, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining us today. I'm really excited for the work you're doing collaboratively with the SD-RAN community and in opening up your interfaces to your CU. DU with that E2 interface. I think that's really some exciting developments and more to come. So, but again, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to working with the ONF to support this industry to have their successful 5G transformation.
Terrific. Thanks. Bye-bye.